What's happening, guys? You're looking at some footage from Salt Lake City of high winds that downed power lines and caused a lot of havoc over there. Um, and obviously, this is another Earth Changes update for Thursday, December 1st, 2011. So you can see here the footage from down in Utah. And next, I'm going to show you some footage from California as well. And I'd like to thank the Associated Press for providing this footage. You can see street signs blown right down and snapped from these winds.
Powerful Santa Ana winds are sweeping through Southern California, knocking down trees and power lines and causing damage to homes and cars, like this one in Beverly Hills. Power crews across the region were working through the night as tens of thousands lost electricity thanks to winds gusting as fast as 80 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's been crazy. We get off work at 3. We came back in about 3:30 in the afternoon, and we've been nonstop at it. Trees like this all over the city, so it's been crazy.
Along with leaving customers without power.
It seems like it's been picking up steadily all day, but we're ready.
The winds were also responsible for diverted and delayed flights at several local airports and even caused the lights to go out at Los Angeles International. The Santa Ana winds are the most powerful in years. Matt Small, The Associated Press.
Okay, this is raw footage also from the Associated Press. And it's of the Ecuadorian volcano that prompted evacuations. And you can see here people cleaning up the ash. You can see the smoke billowing from the volcano. Oklahoma Disaster Zone reads the title of this article, and it says, tornadoes, drought, weather extremes, earthquakes, and sinkholes. And we've reported on all these events down there in Oklahoma. And if you remember, I showed an article before that said, want to experience the apocalypse? Then just move to Oklahoma. So, yeah, they've been getting crushed down there, as well as many places in the world. And, you know, some of the stuff is normal, but when you combine it all together, you can see an acceleration of this stuff here. And I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you here, and I'll leave you guys check this out.
And now to Beckham County in western Oklahoma for a strange one. Folks there in the area are checking out a massive sinkhole that appeared overnight.
They say it's so big, a small house can fit inside it. From our mobile newsroom, News Channel 4's Jolene Cheney checked out this massive hole this afternoon. She just returned and joins us now live with more. Jolene.
Well, Meg, this thing is really something to see in person. The man who takes care of this property says it formed in just 2 days after our last earthquake about 2 weeks ago, but experts say it most likely isn't related. Either way, the hole is still growing day by day.
Kind of spooky. You don't want to mess with it today.
Because whatever lies beneath this flat Oklahoma soil isn't quite finished.
We got to let it finish settling because we don't know how deep it's going to get. It's still growing. When it first formed, you could actually sit here for 30 minutes and you'd see stuff just move.
Jack Dameron's been farming this land for nearly 20 years, but overnight, he says this sinkhole suddenly appeared. Pretty scary considering he's been driving tractors over this exact spot, never dreaming that the ground beneath him could just give way and collapse.
You can see where we sowed right through it. You can see the tractor went right over it. So, yeah, it would have swallowed the tractor.
It's kind of hard to realize just how big this sinkhole really is until you step up right next to it. It's about 40 feet wide and nearly 40 feet deep.
We had a lot of onlookers. Glad my house wasn't over it.
Sinkholes aren't uncommon in this area, but how this one got here?
Man, don't know.
And you might be wondering if Jack knows what to do with this massive open ground once it settles.
No, I do not. It is a problem.
And geologists at the Oklahoma Geological Survey say several things could have caused this sinkhole, including salt or rock formations dissolving or a drought. They also say old coal mines are often full of water, and when that water drains, there's no support, causing the soil above it to collapse.
Okay, rare seismic quake rattles buildings and nerves in Finland. Gale force winds create havoc in Ireland, prompting scores of calls to emergency services. And if you can see in this photo here, houses just leveled by these gale force winds. And I'll link you up at that article in the description box below with all the others. And I had already talked a little bit about this earlier in the video. And it says here, U.S. winds wreak havoc in Southern California, 200K plus without power. And there's actually a video here, but I won't go ahead and play that for you. I'll link you up with it if you want to check it out. Smog sparks debate over Beijing air standards. And it says, officially, Beijing's air quality is improving. But in recent weeks, patients with respiratory problems have flooded hospitals, highways have closed, and hundreds of flights have been grounded by thick smog. So I'll link you up with that. Japan nuclear meltdown may be worse than thought. Well, tell us something we didn't know, for crying out loud, It's the worst natural disaster, it's the worst disaster in the history of humankind. And, I've covered this extensively in several videos before and talked about, how the land is basically uninhabitable and the dead zone is growing. And it's just the details on this environmental disaster are abundant. And I'm not even going to get into them all. But I'll link you guys up with this article for anyone who wants to read into it. Strange new species of ultra-red galaxy discovered. And it says here, in the distant reaches of the universe, almost 13 billion light years from Earth, a strange species of galaxy lay hidden. Cloaked in dust and dimmed by the intervening distance, even the Hubble Space Telescope couldn't spy it. It took the revealing power of NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope to uncover not one, but 4 remarkably red galaxies. And while astronomers can describe the members of this new species, they can't explain what makes them so ruddy. And this is an interesting article from space.com here, and it reads, top sources of powerful space radiation are shockers. And it goes on to say here, new maps of gamma-ray light streaming in from the sky reveal some surprising sources of this highest energy form of light, including objects that were never detected before. NASA's Fermi Gamma-Ray Space Telescope, orbiting around Earth, scans the entire sky every 3 hours. It watches for not only continuous sources of this dangerous radiation, but numerous sudden explosions such as gamma-ray bursts in the distant universe and flares from the sun. The latest maps produced by the satellite's Large Area Telescope identified 1,873 cosmic gamma-ray sources. And there's a link here probably that would list them. Although more than half of these astronomical objects are the usual suspects, active galaxies whose supermassive central black holes spew forth radiation as they rip apart the matter falling into them, more than a third of them were never seen in any other wavelength of light, visible or otherwise. Several of these sources could provide big surprises, and this is something really exciting, said study co-author Gino Tosti, an astrophysicist at the University of Perugia in Italy, currently a visiting scientist at the SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory in Menlo Park, California. So the article goes on and more extensively, but I'll link you guys up with it for anyone who wants to check it out. Sorry. Okay, we're over on spaceweather.com here, and it says here, around the poles, NOAA forecasters estimate a 25% chance of geomagnetic activity around the poles today as a solar wind stream buffets Earth's magnetic field. High-latitude sky watchers should be alert for auroras after nightfall. And it goes on to give a brief update on the sun, and it says here, with no sunspots producing strong flares, the sun is officially quiet. But flares are only one aspect of solar activity. For example, amateur astronomers are monitoring a plume of hot plasma rising over the sun's eastern limb. and as you can see here. So I'll link you guys up to that as well. All right, we're on the RSOE, Emergency Disaster and Information Service, once again, and I'm going to go rapid-fire style as usual through these event summaries. I'm not going to get into them in depth, but I will link you up with all of them in the description box below the video, so if you wish, you can come and click description and situation updates and whatnot. And we're going to begin with this one here, which reads, landslide in Indonesia, and this was yesterday. And the damage level's severe, 4 out of a possible 5. And there's 30 missing people and 4 confirmed dead so far from this landslide. And it's in the area of the island of Nias, or Nias, in Maho Kampung Barije district in the province of North Sumatra in Indonesia. Forest/wildfire in Australia. And this is today, December 1st, 2011. And it says here, damage levels minor, 2 out of a possible 5, and we're looking at the area of Ban Hoop and Cockburn region in the state of Western Australia. Okay, we're on the European Mediterranean Seismological Center, and we're going to go over some of the significant quakes around the world. And the swarms continue over in Greece and Turkey, so I'm not going to just report on every little quake. I'm only going to report on the significant ones. However, you could just pause the video and just read all these quakes yourself. These are all today, and I'll go through all of them here. We've got a 3.0 in the Aegean Sea, 4.6 northeast of Taiwan, 3.1 in eastern Turkey, 5.1 in western Xinjiang. And continuing along here, we got 3.3 in eastern Turkey with a bunch of other swarms up there, 3.5 central Iran, 3.8 northern Iran, 3.4 eastern Turkey, 3.0 eastern Turkey, 3.7 eastern Uzbekistan. And moving up along here, you can see all the swarms in Turkey. We got a 5.0 in the West Chile Rise, got a 5.1 in Hokkaido, Japan region, and a 5.3 in southern Xinjiang, China. And as we keep scrolling up here, we can see the 3.3 eastern Turkey, 3.3 southern Italy. We've got a 5.2 in Vanuatu. And like I said, the swarms in Turkey and Greece continue. Now we're going to go over to the USGS feed to see the North America quakes. Okay, here we are on the USGS live earthquakes map. And before I forget, I must thank a couple of donators. Thanks to Koichiro, or Koichiro. I apologize if I butchered the name. Thank you very much, brother, for the donation. And I'd like to thank Alex and Diane as well for their contributions. It's greatly appreciated, my friends, and much love to you all. Anyhow, moving on here with the quake update. Up in Alaska, the swarms continue. 2.6 in the Kodiak Island region, 2.8 in the Gulf of Alaska, 2.4 Central Alaska, and many others, smaller swarms. You get the 2.1 up in northwestern Canada. Minor swarms continue along the west coast here. We got a couple over in Hawaii again, a 2.1 on the island of Hawaii and a 1.8 on the island of Hawaii. We've also got 2.9 Central California. We've got a 1.9 Central California, and these quakes are always normal on the west coast here. They are no stranger to swarms over there, that's for sure. But you can see the minor action continues along this whole rift that extends down into here. And 1.3 in Arkansas, we've got a 1.9 in Canada, and a 1.7 up in Canada, all along this rift here. And those are just very small quakes, and probably normal, but it does symbolize geological movement, and that directly coincides with Earth changes. We got a 3.1 in the Mona Passage over here, and a magnitude 3 in the Puerto Rico region. We've also got a 3.4 in the Puerto Rico region. And that's the earthquake update for today, my friends. Or, sorry, that's the Earth Changes update for today, my friends. Much love, and I hope everybody has a great day.